In the distant future, the galaxy was a vast place filled with strange worlds and alien civilizations. Among them was a group of curious aliens known as the Zarniks. They were explorers, always seeking new knowledge and ancient secrets. One day, while traveling through a dusty part of the galaxy, they came across a small blue planet, Earth. From a distance, it looked beautiful, but it was silent and still. The Zarniks landed their sleek spaceship on a flat area covered in green grass and tall, old trees. As they stepped out, they were hit by a gentle breeze that carried the faint scent of flowers. The landscape was peaceful, but there was an air of mystery. The Zarniks were excited but cautious. They had heard stories about Earth, a planet once home to a powerful race known as humans. They began to explore the surroundings using their advanced scanning devices. Suddenly, one of the Zarniks, named Jorak, noticed something strange in the distance. It looked like a large structure partially hidden beneath the earth and vines. Curiosity sparked in the team, and they hurried toward the mysterious sight. As they got closer, the structure revealed itself to be a massive hangar, old and worn but still standing tall. The entrance was covered in vines and dirt, making it hard to see. Jorak and his team cleared away the debris, revealing a large door with strange symbols etched into it. The symbols glowed faintly, as if waiting for someone to recognize their meaning. With great effort, the Zarniks managed to open the heavy door. Inside, they found something that took their breath away. Rows of warships filled the hangar, each one more magnificent than the last. These ships were unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek, powerful, and adorned with intricate designs. The Zarniks could hardly believe their eyes. "What are these?" one of the Zarniks whispered in awe. They moved closer to inspect the ships, their hearts racing with excitement. Each vessel was covered in dust but still seemed capable of flight. Jorak felt a surge of pride as he touched the cool metal of one of the ships. It felt alive, as if it were waiting to be used again. The aliens gathered around, examining the technology. They found control panels filled with buttons and screens that flickered to life as they approached. The Zarniks had never encountered such advanced machinery. It was clear that these ships had been built with great skill and intelligence. But why had they been left here? Suddenly, a voice echoed through the hangar, startling the Zarniks. "Intruders detected. Identity confirmed. Aliens." The voice was calm but firm. The Zarniks looked at each other in shock. They had not expected to find a functioning AI in such an ancient place. "Who are you?" Jorak asked, trying to hide his surprise. "I am the guardian AI of this fleet," the voice replied. "You are on Earth, a planet once inhabited by humans. They are now extinct, but their legacy lives on in these ships." The Zarniks exchanged glances. The idea that humans had once existed on this planet fascinated them. They had heard legends of humanity's bravery and intelligence, but they had never imagined they would find proof. "What happened to them?" another Zarnik asked, eager for answers. The guardian AI paused before responding. "Humans faced many challenges. In time, they disappeared from this world, leaving behind their greatest achievements. These ships were meant to protect them, but now they await new masters." Excitement surged through the Zarniks. They realized they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. This fleet could change everything for them. It was a chance to learn from humanity and perhaps even carry on their legacy. But they also felt a sense of responsibility. Jorak turned to his team, a determined look in his eyes. "We must uncover the secrets of this fleet and learn from it. Humanity's story is not over yet. It has only just begun." With that, the Zarniks set to work, ready to delve into the mysteries of the human fleet. The discovery of Earth was just the beginning of an incredible journey, and they were determined to honor the legacy of the vanished humans. The Zarniks were buzzing with excitement after discovering the ancient fleet hidden on Earth. They gathered in the main hangar, surrounded by the towering warships that had once belonged to humanity. Each ship was a masterpiece of technology, filled with potential and stories waiting to be told. Jorak, their leader, stood in front of his team, ready to begin their work. "Today we awaken these ships," Jorak announced, his voice filled with determination. "We will learn from them and understand the legacy of humanity." The Zarniks divided into teams, each tasked with examining a different ship. They moved quickly, their eyes wide with wonder as they touched the sleek metal and studied the glowing control panels. The Guardian AI, which had introduced itself to them, floated nearby, ready to assist. As they worked, the Zarniks pressed buttons and flipped switches, trying to activate the ships. Each time they did, the ships responded with a soft hum, as if they were waking from a long sleep. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation. Suddenly, the AI spoke up, its voice echoing in the hangar. To awaken the ships, you must enter the activation code. This code is a key to their power. Where can we find it? One Zarnik asked, looking around in confusion. The code is part of the ship's history, the AI replied. You must learn about the humans and their ways to unlock it. The Zarniks felt a rush of determination. They began to gather information from the AI about humanity's past. The stories flowed like a river, filled with tales of bravery, invention, and the struggles humans faced. They learned about the wars fought for freedom, the discoveries that changed the world, and the bonds that held communities together. As they listened, the Zarniks realized how much they admired humans. They were a species filled with passion and resilience, able to overcome great challenges. Jorak felt inspired and wanted to honor that spirit. After hours of learning, the Zarniks decided it was time to try the activation code. They gathered around the largest ship, its design both intimidating and beautiful. Jorak stepped forward, filled with courage. Let's do this together, he said. The others nodded, their eyes shining with excitement. One by one, they placed their hands on the control panel, feeling the warmth of the ship beneath their fingers. They recited the stories they had learned, each tale representing a piece of the activation code. As they spoke, the ship began to glow brighter, responding to their voices. Suddenly, a loud hum filled the hangar and the ship shook slightly. The Zarniks stepped back, watching in awe as the ship's systems powered up. Screens lit up, displaying vibrant images and information. The Guardian AI smiled, pleased with their progress. You have done well, it said. The ship is now awake. It is ready to be your ally. Jorak felt a surge of pride. They had successfully awakened the first ship, and it felt like a significant victory. What can it do? He asked eagerly. The ship is equipped with advanced weapons, shields, and propulsion systems, the AI explained. It is capable of interstellar travel and can defend itself against any threats. The Zarniks exchanged excited glances. This ship was more than just a piece of history, it was a powerful tool for their future. They quickly set to work activating the other ships, each time feeling the thrill of discovery. Each ship responded uniquely, bringing new challenges and adventures. As they moved from ship to ship, the Zarniks felt a bond forming with the technology. It was as if the ships were welcoming them into a long-lost family. They learned to pilot them, understanding their quirks and strengths. Hours turned into days, and soon the hangar buzzed with life. The once silent warships now hummed with energy and purpose. The Zarniks shared laughter and stories, celebrating their progress as they began to see the full potential of humanity's legacy. But deep down, Jorak knew that their work was only beginning. They were not just learning about the ships, they were connecting with the spirit of humanity. With each awakening, they felt a responsibility to honor that spirit, ensuring that the stories of the brave humans would never be forgotten. As they stood together in the hangar, watching the ships soar into the skies, the Zarniks felt ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. They were guardians of a new era, inspired by the greatness of those who had come before them. The Zarniks had transformed the ancient hangar into a bustling hub of activity. With the warships fully awakened, they began to test their systems and practice flying. Jorak, their leader, felt a surge of pride as he watched his team learn the ways of the ships. They were ready to honor humanity's legacy and explore the stars. But as excitement filled the air, a dark shadow loomed on the horizon. One day, while conducting flight drills, the Guardian AI interrupted their practice. Warning! A large fleet of ships is approaching from the outer region of the solar system. They belong to the Varcon Empire. The Zarniks froze, their hearts pounding. The Varcon Empire was known for its ruthless expansion and desire for conquest. Stories of their brutal tactics spread fear across the galaxy. Jorak turned to his team, his expression serious. We need to prepare for a possible attack. The Varcons will want the power of these ships for themselves. Panic rippled through the Zarniks. They had barely learned to fly the ships, let alone defend against an enemy. What should we do? One Zarnik asked, fear in their eyes. First, we must assess the situation, Jorak replied. We need to gather intelligence and understand what the Varcons want. The Guardian AI activated its scanners, displaying information about the approaching fleet on a large screen. The Zarniks watched as dots representing the enemy ships appeared, growing closer by the second. There were dozens of them, all armed and ready for battle. The Varcon Empire is known for their aggression, the AI explained. They seek to capture advanced technology, and they will not hesitate to destroy anything in their way. Jorak knew they had to act quickly. We need to create a plan, he said. We cannot let the Varcons take the fleet. Humanity's legacy must be protected at all costs. The Zarniks gathered in a circle, brainstorming ideas. They discussed defensive strategies, potential escape routes, and how to use their newfound ships effectively. Each Zarnik shared their thoughts, and slowly a plan began to take shape. They decided to use the element of surprise to their advantage. As the Varcon fleet approached, the Zarniks prepared their ships for battle. Jorak took command of the largest warship, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. He knew they were outnumbered, but he also understood that they had something powerful on their side, the spirit of humanity. Remember, Jorak said to his crew, we are fighting not just for ourselves, but for the legacy of those who came before us. We must show the Varcons that we will not back down. With determination in their hearts, the Zarniks launched their ships into the sky. The sight was awe-inspiring as the fleet soared together, a mix of vibrant colors against the backdrop of space. They flew toward the approaching enemy, adrenaline pumping through their veins. As they neared the Varcon fleet, the Zarniks could see the enemy ships clearly. They were dark and imposing, with sharp edges and menacing designs. The Varcons were ready for a fight, their weapons charged and aimed at the approaching Zarnik fleet. "Stay close!" Jorak commanded as they entered formation. "We must work together!" The Zarniks flew in sync, dodging incoming fire and responding with their own. They relied on the techniques they had learned from the Guardian AI, combining human tactics with their own unique skills. The battle began with a fierce exchange of laser blasts and explosions lighting up the dark expanse of space. Despite their fear, the Zarniks fought bravely. They maneuvered their ships with agility, using the advanced technology to outsmart the Varcons. Jorak led the charge, feeling the legacy of humanity fueling his resolve. However, the Varcons were relentless. More enemy ships joined the fight, and the Zarniks began to feel the pressure. The odds were against them, but they refused to give up. They were determined to protect what humanity had left behind. As the battle raged on, the Guardian AI provided critical information, helping the Zarniks anticipate the Varcons' moves. The tide began to turn as the Zarniks executed their plan, surprising the enemy with their unexpected tactics. Jorak felt a renewed sense of hope. They were not just fighting for their own survival, they were fighting for the memory of humans who had once ruled this world. With every blast and maneuver, they honored that legacy, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The impending threat of the Varcon Empire had brought them together as a team, united in purpose and driven by a common goal. They would protect the fleet and carry on the spirit of humanity, no matter the cost. The battle raged in the depths of space, a chaotic dance of light and sound. The Zarniks fought fiercely against the Varcon Empire, their ships weaving through the onslaught of enemy fire. Jorak, leading the charge in the largest warship, felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. This was not just a fight for survival, it was a fight to protect humanity's legacy. "Stay close together!" Jorak shouted into the ship's communication system. "We need to support each other!" His team responded with determination, forming a tight formation as they dodged incoming blasts. The Zarnik ships, once dormant relics, were now alive with energy and purpose. Each ship moved like a well-oiled machine, executing maneuvers they had practiced tirelessly. The Varcon ships were relentless, firing laser beams that streaked through the darkness. The Zarniks could see their enemy clearly now. Dark, angular ships that loomed ominously, their weapons primed for destruction. But the Zarniks were not afraid. They had learned from the stories of humanity's bravery, and that knowledge fueled their courage. As the two fleets collided, explosions erupted in all directions. Jorak maneuvered his ship, expertly avoiding enemy fire while returning blasts of his own. The ships around him glowed with energy as they fired back, bright beams illuminating the dark void. The Zarniks fought as one, their unity giving them strength. "Target the lead ship," Jorak ordered, pointing to the largest Varcon vessel. If they could take it down, they might turn the tide of battle. The crew nodded, determination etched on their faces. The Zarnik ships moved in unison, focusing their fire on the lead Varcon ship. The enemy returned fire, but the Zarniks had learned to anticipate their moves. With each volley, they struck true, chipping away at the enemy's defenses. Suddenly, a warning blared from the control panel. "Incoming missiles!" The Guardian. AI's voice rang through the ship. "Evasive maneuvers!" Jorak shouted. He pushed the controls forward, sending the ship into a sharp turn. The crew held on as the ship swerved, narrowly avoiding the barrage of missiles. They could hear the explosions behind them as the Varcons missed their mark. "Great job!" One of the crew members cheered, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They were gaining momentum. As they pressed the attack, Jorak noticed a strange energy forming around the lead Varcon ship. It began to glow, and he realized too late that it was preparing to unleash a devastating weapon. "Everyone get out of the way!" Jorak yelled. "We need to pull back!" But it was too late. A blinding flash of light erupted from the enemy ship, a wave of energy surging toward the Zarniks. Jorak braced himself as the shockwave hit, knocking his ship off course. The lights flickered, and alarms blared as they struggled to regain control. "Re-establish formation," he commanded, gritting his teeth. "We can't let them regroup!" The Zarniks fought to regain their composure, quickly returning to formation. They couldn't let the Varcons take advantage of their momentary disarray. Jorak glanced at the screen, noting that the enemy ship was still operational but vulnerable. "Focus all fire on that ship," he ordered, determination hardening in his voice. The crew nodded, their resolve unbroken. As the Zarniks launched their final assault, they channeled all their energy into one decisive strike. Jorak led the charge, weaving through enemy fire with skill and agility. The Zarniks fired in perfect unison, their blasts striking the Varcon ship with incredible force. With a deafening explosion, the lead Varcon ship erupted in flames, debris scattering in all directions. The Zarniks cheered, a wave of relief washing over them. They had struck a critical blow against their enemy. But the battle was far from over. The remaining Varcon ships were enraged, retaliating fiercely. Jorak knew they had to stay focused. "We can win this!" he shouted, rallying his team. "Fight for humanity's legacy!" With renewed strength, the Zarniks pressed on, fighting valiantly against the Varcons. They were a united front, determined to protect the legacy of those who had come before them. As the battle continued, Jorak felt a surge of hope. They had awakened something powerful within themselves, and together they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. The showdown had become a testament to their bravery, and Jorak was proud to stand alongside his team, ready to defend what was right. The spirit of humanity guided them, and they would not falter. The battle had raged on for what felt like an eternity, but at last the Zarniks emerged victorious. The remnants of the Varcon fleet drifted silently in space, their once menacing ships now lifeless husks. Jorak, still gripping the controls of his warship, felt a wave of exhaustion wash over him. They had fought bravely, but the fight had taken its toll. As the Zarniks regrouped, cheers erupted among the crew. They had not only defended their newly awakened fleet, but had also honored the legacy of humanity. Jorak turned to his team, his heart swelling with pride. "You all fought valiantly today. We did what many thought impossible. We stood against the Varcons and won!" The cheers grew louder, echoing through the ship. But amidst the celebration, Jorak knew they could not let their guard down. The Varcon Empire was relentless, and they would likely seek revenge. They needed to prepare for whatever came next. As the Zarniks began to assess the damage to their ships, the Guardian AI spoke up. "While we have won this battle, we must remain vigilant. The Varcons will regroup, and they will not forget this defeat." Jorak nodded, understanding the weight of the AI's words. "We need to strengthen our defenses and seek allies. We cannot face the Varcon Empire alone." With a new sense of purpose, the Zarniks set to work. They began to repair their ships, working together to ensure everything was ready for the next challenge. Jorak called for a meeting, hoping to brainstorm potential allies. As his crew gathered, he shared his vision. "We have just defended our home. But we are not the only ones threatened by the Varcons," he said. "We should reach out to other planets and civilizations that may share our goal. Together we can form a powerful alliance." One of the Zarniks, Tira, raised her hand. "What about the Myraxi? They are known for their advanced technology and military strength. They might be willing to help us." Jorak smiled at her suggestion. "Excellent idea, Tira. The Myraxi are known to be fierce warriors. If we can earn their trust, they could be a valuable ally." The crew buzzed with excitement at the prospect of forming new alliances. They quickly organized a plan to send a communication to the Myraxi, inviting them to discuss a potential partnership. With the message sent, the Zarniks waited anxiously for a response. Days passed, and tension filled the air as they continued repairs and prepared their ships. Finally, a message came through the communication channel. It was from the Myraxi leader, a powerful figure known as Kalen. He accepted their invitation and agreed to meet. Jorak felt a mix of hope and nervousness. This meeting could change everything. The Zarniks prepared for the arrival of the Myraxi, ensuring their fleet was ready and looking strong. When the day came, they stood together, waiting in anticipation as the Myraxi ships approached. The Myraxi vessels were unlike anything the Zarniks had ever seen. Sleek and majestic, they glided through space with grace. As they docked, Kalen emerged, flanked by a group of Myraxi warriors. He was tall and imposing, his eyes sharp and calculating. Jorak stepped forward to greet him. "Welcome, Kalen. We are honored that you accepted our invitation." Kalen studied Jorak for a moment before nodding. "You have shown great courage in your battle against the Varcons. I respect that. But courage alone will not win a war." Jorak understood the challenge ahead. "We know the Varcons will retaliate. We seek to unite our strengths against a common enemy. Together we can stand against them." Kalen considered Jorak's words, then spoke. "If you are willing to share your technology and knowledge, we may have a partnership worth pursuing. Together we can create a force that the Varcons will fear." The Zarniks exchanged hopeful glances. This was what they had fought for, an alliance that could change the course of their future. Jorak extended his hand. "Then let us forge this alliance for the sake of our worlds and the legacy of humanity." Kalen grasped Jorak's hand firmly, sealing their agreement. As the two leaders stood united, the Zarniks and Myraxi warriors celebrated their new partnership. They were stronger together, ready to face the challenges ahead. With renewed hope and a powerful alliance, the Zarniks looked to the stars. The legacy of humanity would guide them, and they would fight not just for survival, but for a future free from oppression. Together they were prepared to stand against the Varcon Empire and protect their worlds. The dawn of a new era had begun.